Mr. Chairman, Excellencies, distinguished delegates, colleagues and friends. This time last year, we were set to mark the 25th anniversary of the adoption of the Beijing Declaration and Platform for Action, and the 5-year milestone in implementing the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. We were ready to document many achievements and to chart the way forward. Now, here we are a year later, confronting the challenges of the COVID-19 pandemic, which has brought to the forefront the staggeringly wide gap of injustice and inequality that women face across the globe. COVID-19 is exploiting and exacerbating pre-existing structural inequalities and fault lines in all societies, with its impact felt most severely by women, children, the poor, and other vulnerable populations. The impact on women has been across the board. Women are disproportionately working in the sectors most at risk. The majority of jobs lost belong to women, and there has been a dramatic increase in intimate partner violence. It is estimated that the pandemic will push 96 million people into extreme poverty, widening the gender poverty gap even further. As Director General of the International Development Law Organization, the only global intergovernmental organization exclusively dedicated to advancing the rule of law to promote peace and sustainable development, I have made it my priority to put gender equality and women's empowerment at the center of our new strategic plan. We have seen through our work how the rule of law and access to justice are not only essential to equality for women and girls, but are central to the enjoyment of other rights and critical to achieving peaceful and inclusive societies as envisaged in Goals 5 and 16 of the 2030 Agenda. IDLO is focused on 3 concrete and interrelated objectives aimed at reducing the justice gap for women and girls through the rule of law. Firstly, addressing discriminatory laws and building gender-responsive legal, regulatory, and policy frameworks. Around the world, more than 2.5 billion women are affected by discriminatory laws. Over 100 countries still prevent women from working in specific jobs, and 40% of economies still limit women's property rights. The law can be a powerful means of empowerment for women and girls. It can protect their human rights, help them access essential services, and promote their full advancement as equal members of society. In the Philippines and Kenya, in Sierra Leone and Mali, IDLO is working together with UN Women and national partners to undertake comprehensive reviews of legislation aimed at the repeal of discriminatory laws and adoption of new laws to address justice gaps for women. Secondly, IDLO is committed to combating gender-based violence against women and girls. It is critical to address the alarming rise in violence and restrictions on the ability of survivors to access protective and support services. IDLO works to strengthen justice sector capacity to investigate, prosecute, and adjudicate gender-based violence and to support victims. In Afghanistan, for example, during the COVID-19 crisis, IDLO has been supporting women's shelters, which saw numbers of victims seeking refuge double in some cities. Thirdly, we must ensure the inclusion of women as decision makers. Women parliamentarians, judges, prosecutors, lawyers, and legal aid providers all play an important role in shaping the rule of law and justice agenda. IDLO will continue to promote women's participation and leadership, especially in the justice sector. In Somalia, for example, we are working with alternative dispute resolution centers to increase the number of women acting as adjudicators, counselors, and advisors. Our work has shown that women are more likely to seek justice in family disputes and in cases of gender-based violence if they engage with and are supported by women in both formal and informal justice systems. It is the right of women everywhere to be equal before the law and to have access to justice. Investment in concrete programs on the ground can help transform the lives of women and girls and their communities and advance a culture of the rule of law. While the COVID-19 pandemic has brought huge challenges, it is also an opportunity to reinvigorate global efforts on gender equality and women's empowerment. The crisis has shown what can be achieved through cooperation and solidarity. But national and international policies must be gender responsive, and women must be fully involved at all levels of decision-making. Gender equality must be a central objective in building back better. Thank you.